jungler picks this season. The blue side win rate of Aurora and red side win rate of Tlph are on your screen. The odds, once again, are not in the favor of the defending champions. If I'm Tlph here, ban the Fanny or ban the Phoveus. You cannot give one of those two.
Or be prepared to have JB play a Kufra.
Pick it up earlier if he could.
Yeah, either way. Because we saw them ban it out.
Priestess of primal lightning.
They're willing
They're
to
doing it!
Of all the evil gods.
Are they? So Rora, Phoveus, or Fanny?
Phoveus or Fanny, take a pick. And you know what happens if Tlph...
Or Suyo. It's also
Oh my
open.
goodness, alright. You're right. Suyo is also open. Highly contested hero by so far. Here in day one of playoffs.
Always on the way.
They go for none of the above, bro.
Until the Renegade.
The only one bound by
Suyo.
this chance.
Phoveus.
Yeah, Phoveus Suyo. Or...
The immortal one chose me to
no, yeah, there.
Oh my goodness.
You can't pick Harith.
I know what I feel about that. Is this a Fanny pick? Is this a Fanny pick?
Lock it.
I don't know, man.
Can't overthink it because, okay. Well, they have the Phoveus now, so the Cho will look good as a slot 3 pick for Tlph. Or they can even go Kaja.
Has Edward played the Cho XP?
Yes. Once, but it lost.
Right.
But it is an option for Aurora for the first time in many seasons. Oh, they surprised and go Alpha!
This draft is not going the way I thought it would.
It's the Alpha Matilda. Rora taking a page from Blacklist book. Or is it Blacklist taking a page from Rora's book because the DNA between those two teams are very similar.
Now it's Tlph playing Aurora cosplay.
Yeah, Aurora can snowball with this lineup. If Tlph loses a major team fight twice before the 5th, 6th minute mark, Aurora controls majority of the game. Benny Cutie calling the shots right now and being active in terms of what picks.
Is that gonna be Alice?
Don't necessarily need to go pick off here.
Nathan.
Go ahead and stick it up.
Alright, that's, I mean, I heard the other panel through my ears. Is this good? Yeah, you're right. It doesn't feel like...
They're taking away, they're hard focusing Doming. So what's next? They ban also the Melissa? Because whatever pick that Tlph decides to go for, a Melissa will do really well. I mean, Doming doesn't have history with it this season.
It would also be great if they just removed, like, the Melissa. Yeah, you're right. Or the Claude and force him on the carry. Which is really bad for Aurora, but it's a pretty good place to be in. Zushin out means mid lane still... I don't know. It still feels pretty open.
It has to be an Aurora for Sanji. That is his next best, most successful hero this season.
Carries out.
Take away the carry.
And forcing Claude?
Claude, Bea, Lunox.
Bea?
The damage profiles right now are not enough to deal with the Phoveus. Harith gone. No. Still open. They're willing to give the Harith because they have the Phoveus with them.
I mean, they've shown actually in this whole series they can win that gold lane duel at whatever stage of the game, except maybe on like really good team-up games. So I guess you're right. It's fine for them to pick up the Harith here.
They banned the Faramis, and that leaves the Zask and the Aurora as the main options right now for Sanji.
Is to trick.
It would be devastating if they decided to go for something like an Eve. Not now.
Not now. Oh no, please. They've done that before, and it has not resulted to a good result. I mean, that's technically correct.
You're right.
But yeah, man, that was
rises when I give the word.
not...
Khalid.
Okay, Khalid, welcome to the playoffs.
Rome Khalid, EXP Phoveus. Dominic cannot go Harith. Oh, shoot.
First Khalid of the playoffs, and now...
Edward should go Ruby. Or Edward should
Sounds about right.
Not Arlod, you don't want to give that against the Phoveus. Oh, but even the Ruby has those little dashes that resist the demonic force. But I'm thinking about it, the second skill, the crowd control, the Ruby should be able to make Phoveus Kali struggle, but no, they go for the Terizla instead.
Alright, I guess that's the lesser evil, right?
Tanky front.
If you're gonna jump into the penalty zone. That's what Edward's thinking.
Is this 4 protect 1? Beatrix, Harith.
Harith.
They still go for the Harith.
Why are they celebrating? That was funny.
And Sengiit will get his Aurora.
Alright, so
You can clearly see Aurora feel a lot lighter in their shoulders.
yeah.
Tlph look a little bit tense. When that Harris showed up, Aurora laughed.
I mean, why would they laugh at that? That's so funny. Maybe they just thought, you know what, this draft went exactly the way we planned it.
Early to mid game, late game, damage potential, survival, everything is in favor of Team Liquid Philippines. But again, the numbers don't lie, but these two continue to defy the odds. Only one of them can defy the odds.
Let's go.
Let's just go.
Let's just go,
Let's
man.
just go. Screw the drama. Let's see these two teams fight.
One last ride for one of these teams, and the other drops from the
To
playoffs.
Mobile Legends.
Welcome to Game 5. It's Aurora MLBB versus Team Liquid Philippines. And after that, let's just say, forgettable Game 4, we now have a draft that's stretching from both sides.
Man, the Matilda first pick onto the blue side really needs to pay off here for Aurora. Renegade has to be somewhat like Perks, aggressive. Matilda not just be defensive. Of course, like game number 4, what happened with the Minotaur. Again, you can't blame them because Carl Team had to Suyo. They were aggressive as possible. So let's see how this boils out.
Renegade number 1 in first bloods drawn among all roamers.
Among all roamers.
So if anything, Perks had to watch Renegade
Literally the hitman.
play this Matilda. Find me a more fitting nickname for such a roamer, for such an MLBB talented superstar.
Yeah, literally, you also sing, you know, by the way, that song, so literal superstar for Aurora needs to shine brighter. You as well sing. Keep going, by the way.
Hey, here we go. Big engagements again. JP on Khalid. I think our analysts mentioned this is the first Khalid in the playoffs. Great way to tempo break Aurora. And you can see in the rotations of Liquid how they're playing aggressively. Again, this is their tempo.
Yeah, but again, I do like to point out what the battle has mentioned, that Demon Kite Alpha is a good counter compared to Suyo, but right now they go in the gear of Alpha. Got come out to bring in JP. Draws the first blood. Okay, he's saying right now that I too, as a roamer, can rock a first blood.
I mean, he's Daddy JP.
And he's a Khalid.
He's disciplining all of these young bloods. He's been doing this since even before the World Championship was a thing. Did you know that?
Yes.
You know that? JP was part of the first team sent out to compete Malaysia. Here we go, turtle time.
Thunder shows, okay, Edward goes in with a penalty zone, but Coffees, he gets the turtle, and Clash is doing right now. Coffees, he might fall
Lord.
down, even Kite's gonna fall down as well. A jungler for a jungler, and JP goes, flickers out, but Sandmore though, ganked up by 3 members of Aurora. That's a 2-for-1 trade, but Tlph gets the turtle.
Liquid may have pulled away sooner than the rest of them expected. Aurora punished hard. Now we're at deadlock 2-2. And yes, that was a bloody turtle. At the cost of a Carl Easy and Stanford. But we're back to business here. Looking at Aurora's build right now. I assume that's Starling Cypher stuff for Dolby.
Yeah, and right now looking at Tlph, you know that the power spike of a Khalid is really 5 minutes as they try to work on him. He does cast a Raging Sandstorm to make sure there's no kill onto Aurora. So Tlph, we all know whenever you pick a Khalid, you want to be as aggressive as possible in the early game, first 5 minutes. Try to disrupt the rotation of the jungle. If you can get the purple buff or an orange buff, that would be great. But Tlph needs also to instill discipline, because they have a Renegade Matilda that can easily go out and counter-engage again when Edward has his penalty.
For sure, and you know the whole Mobius Harry situation with Dominic and Edward, that only comes into play later on.
Yes.
So you wait for that to kick in before you gauge your aggression. So it's a difficult balancing act for Daddy JP, but then again, this is a world champion and MDL champion.
MVP also, by the way. Finals MVP.
JP can do it, but against a 5-man stack like Aurora, easier said than done.
Imagine Aurora debuting team newly assembled, has a chance to bring down the defending champions. for this game number 5.
And possibly their worst season yet.
Yeah.
Maybe only as bad as when Echo debuted season 9. Second turtle already up, 3/4 of its health in. JP and Carl up front, Mortal Form on the super.
Again, this is Froggy. You can see him. He needs to get the turtle from the Frigid
Wow!
Glacier. Coming, gonna get the turtle and the kill onto Carl. TT's next target is JP. Has a quick Sanford, but Edward goes in with the penalty zone. Next target, Sanford. They really want to go right after him despite the Infernal Pursuit. He's not gonna bring down Demon Kite. And Yue gets a triple kill. Sanji on the other hand answers with a kill. But look at this, a trade for a trade, blow for blow, and Edward
It's a
working
wipeout!
on
It's a
Sanji.
wipeout!
It's a wipeout! But there's the bride of ice, but Edward doesn't care. It's a
Delayed
wipeout.
Wipeout for Aurora. Liquid may have overstayed their welcome. This is the same paradox. This is the same problem we told you about, the puzzle that Liquid have to work with. Yes, we should be aggressive in the early, but when are we ready? When does that actually pay off?
Yeah. And again, Aurora, this is what they were missing in game number 4. The aggression, the confidence to dictate the game, to go in, to full commit. And in that sequence, they weren't afraid to go in.
Aurora, after game 4, in the opening minutes of game 5, they woke up. They is awaked.
They awake. They're now ready to go head-to-head with the defending champions. Yeah, we have to commend Edward with a beautiful penalty. So despite the Frigid Glacier of Sanji actually connecting to a lot of members of Aurora, they still save that penalty zone for the counter-attack.
And now, the delayed payoff, the conversion from Aurora. They took this patiently, and they've now demolished the very first turret of the game. Quick look at the items. You can see the Stardom Scythe and the... Oh, wow. The Feather of Heaven already built up on Doming, while you can see here, Benny Cutie slightly behind.
Yeah, you can expect this again. This is hard. This fight. That's what makes it more better or more outstanding, or just
More impressive.
More impressive there, because there's a Phobius on the opposing team, and despite that, you're still able to do that. You haven't died yet. 1-0-4. You even got the turtle as Aurora works on the turtle scale. Let's see if Froggy will try to contest, but Edward is really as aggressive as he can be. Demon Kite secures the turtle, raging Sandstorm for JP just to walk away. But the circling eagle will be enough for Aurora to take that purple bump away from Carl.
Carl got it still.
Oh, got it still.
But at the cost of so much. Aurora are bullying them.
Yeah,
Sending them back even in their own jungle, JP!
you're even forcing JP to use a Raging Sandstorm defensively to escape. That's not a good sign if your TLPH and Aurora works on the mid lane turret, and they will bring it down successfully.
So many picks from Liquid should be doing better against Aurora. But the synergy and the from out of nowhere aggression that Aurora are showing is taking Liquid off of their footing.
Yeah, and the catalyst for me, fourth side of Aurora, is really Edward. Out of nowhere, the flicker penalty zone connecting onto 2, plus the aggressive Matilda again of Red and JP.
It's enough to push 40, Carl DZ out of a push, and that already ruins Liquid's approach.
Yeah, it was enough to force JP to use the Raging Sandstorm to back off defensively.
And that's a non-starter. Carl DZ here finally built up his War Axe, but he's no longer as ever present in his jungle, because again, these bushes are infested with Rora members. Look at that, even Kite in that orange buff bush.
They're marking their territories. They're saying this is ours. You can't just randomly walk into a brush without having that sense of urgency. What if there's one member of Aurora there?
And what's difficult is Sanji has to throw out a skill to check, and this is a mid-range mage you're looking at, the Aurora, so she could as well have popped her passive, and then, only then, does Liquid have full information. Even Benny Cutie, sure, you can throw out a random skill, but you're at risk of being forced to use your Purify and your Entropy.
So right now, the name of the game for Tlph is as much as possible extend the game. Try to back on the fact that you have Benny Cutie that at any given moment towards the late game can deliver a huge Benny bomb with the Nathan. And Aurora knows that, that's why they're trying to go for the Lord right away.
Here we go, Lord now doesn't have health.
Again, the penalty zone coming in from Edward. The fear execution battle, but they're forcing Carl DZ out of the picture as Demon Kite gets the Lord. No casualties, but Aurora extending their lead to 3K plus the Lord.
It's not even a contest. there was no retry battle. Tlph couldn't even get in range of a fully charged Queller. That's how hard it was for Liquid to break through. But there was a long, slow push down bottom by Benny Beauty. So there's some consolation there for the Cavalry. 3K ahead, Aurora sitting at about 9 minutes and a half. It's difficult. There's nothing Aurora's letting Liquid do. Whether defensively or offensively, Liquid have to play to Aurora.
Yeah, they're really reactive right now. And as much as possible, if Sengiit gets a huge frigid glacier, you see the battle from Purify, that could easily turn things around for Tlph. But with the way Aurora is playing, it's hard to even land the frigid glacier.
Exactly, because again, the whole casting animation of the frigid glacier is enough of a window for Aurora to reposition.
Yeah, especially they have Renegade again with the Matilda guiding wind is more than
That
enough.
too! That too!
Okay, so Lord marching in the bottom lane. Low health though, so they're easily gonna burst it down. Holy shields will be popped in the bottom lane. And let's see if Aurora will force something out again. Edward has been doing wonders with the flicker penalty zone, but discipline will instill for Aurora.
Legend Zero has been phenomenal on this Terizla. In the recent weeks, Terizla actually slowed down in his appearances.
Not for Edward.
Right here, right now, this is the key pick. This is the game changer for Aurora MOVB. Looking at the items right now, about 800, 700 between Benny and Domin. And, alright, say what you will about Tlph struggling, but at least his farm is still slightly higher.
Yeah.
But is that enough though? Is that what you need as the Suyu? He just built his Sea Halberd. Is that going to be enough of top Renegade?
Well, at this point, that's better. That's not the worst situation. It's more than...
I see
it's
the
nice.
worst situation already.
What's the worst situation?
Sanji.
Oh,
Say, sure, alright? Best case scenario, you catch people with the frigid glacier. But what does that do? It just freezes them.
yeah. Okay,
He
so
doesn't have damage right now. He's on his way to Holy Crystal, but how far away is he?
so if that's the case, if the frigid glacier doesn't land, so what will Sanji do next?
Exactly.
What's the next part for Tlph?
Bottom four, the way Aurora's playing, effectively disabled Sanji. The contributing.
It's not the Sanji we're used to seeing.
It's not the mid lane genius.
It's not the mid lane genius. They're really having a hard time with how Aurora has been playing. And now, so at this point, how do you extend the game if you're Tlph? What do you do? Do you try to go contest for the neutral objectives like the Lord, or will you just try and take a page from Omega's book and just defend until eventually Benny Beauty is able to deliver a huge Benny bomb?
I'll say it's the latter. This is the right move in the right direction. The fact that Liquid just allowed Aurora to take the sword, despite the soft reset there. Because there's no way Liquid can break through that. So, best case scenario, they get enough farm on Sanji, they get enough farm on Benny, and then they defend inside the base. That's the best case scenario for me right now. Because even with Demon Guide at 0, 3, and 4,
Yeah,
he's playing Utility Alpha right now. He doesn't need kills.
doesn't need to.
It's all literally on Edward, Doming, and Yue.
He's literally a bodyguard. That's why a Renegade, you can enable Renegade to be as aggressive as possible because Demon Guide's eventually gonna soak up the damage. If Renegade is in trouble, rest assured Demon Guide will just pop the Spear of Alpha.
I'd reckon if it makes it to that point, if Sanford gets his de-ice before everything is just upside down for them, maybe there's a chance. Because something tells me if there's an appeal for Liquid, then maybe Aurora's forward aggression could stop.
Yeah, let's see if it's even gonna reach up to that point because the Lord will eventually burst down and inhibitor down bottom. Benny QT doing his best to clear out the Lord here. They still have their holy shields in the middle lane. Minions up top for Aurora.
He's doing his darndest, and it seems to be enough. The wave up top cleared, another one in mid, and the Lord has been slain. Mid lane Hibber's
Look at
defending
Edward.
just barely!
Edward goes in with a penalty, so here comes the freaking Glacier connecting onto 3JP though. Sanji has to walk away. No casualties yet for Tlph, but Rora just out-sustaining the damage. A Pride of Ice will be captain, and Domek will break down Sanji. That's one member down. Aurora on the verge of taking down the defending champions.
Flicker still up. Battle spells and ults. Now
Dominic!
JB's in trouble!
Domek with a huge blow, and we are moments away from
Carl Teasy.
Sweet victory for Demon Kite. And just like what we witnessed in S12, it's the same three people, Renegade, Yue, Edward, eliminating TLBH.
The Cavaliers sit still, silent in awe. Who would have thought that the defending champions would fall in the first round?
Huge props still, of course, for TLBH for putting on a show, forcing 5 amazing games, and really testing the limits of Aurora. Still have to commend TLBH here.
It's lights out for now as the Northern Lights shine bright. The Cavalry has to reconvene as rivals and comrades and friends. Shake hands and embrace. And our defending champions take their final bow this season.
Unfortunately, TLBH will be part of M6.
We're gonna go over on stage. Maracino is with Team Liquid Philippines.
For the first time in a very long time, TLPH will not be moving forward in the playoffs. Carl, anong gusto mong sabihin sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa inyo?
Sa lahat ng sumusuporta dyan, sorry, hindi kami makakapag-Worlds ngayon. Hindi namin ma-defend yung crown, pero sobrang gusto ko talagang ipanalo this season. Despite top 5 kami ngayon, sobrang gigil na gigil ako manalo, pero medyo kinulang pa talaga kami. So, hindi namin mag-improve pa.
This may not be your season, but the whole world